Today I'm watching Fallout Season 1, Episode 3. It's this show based on a video game, which I haven't played, but I'm getting more and more interested in based on the show and the direction that it's going. So in the previous episode, we ended with Lucy about to decapitate this guy to try and find her dad. Is that she needs some kind of like bargaining chip. She went into Philly and was given the coordinates that she has in her watch from the vault, and we're seeing more interactions with people from the outside world and people in the vault, and kind of learning who ended up where and why they ended up there, which I think is interesting. And we had all three characters, Maximus, the Ghoul, and Lucy all met in Philly, and I think that was just a really cool set, get to see how these people were surviving and, these real world things that they still have, despite it being 200 years later. They have a dentist and a barber shop and like antique stores and clothing stores, and obviously all built in this like junkyard. There was like half a plane and some older cars and stuff too, which was interesting. I'm definitely excited to learn more about these characters, even though sometimes they're making, questionable choices. The Ghoul, was after this bounty and trying to get this guy who now, had his foot shot off by the Ghoul, and his head is now going to be chopped off by Lucy. So I think that, I don't think there's going to be much hope for getting his reward. And now Maximus is a knight. He let the guy die basically and took over his suit and is trying to, figure out how to use it, but he was able to, save Lucy from the Ghoul in the previous episode as well. Definitely some interesting characters. I'm enjoying it. It's definitely reminding me of a few other comic book movies and TV shows, which I know this is based on a video game, but that's kind of the sense that I'm getting. So I'm very excited to continue to watch, even though, sometimes it's very dark and grim, subject matter. And I like Lucy as our main character. And even in the last episode, we were introduced to a new character who was, killed off basically by the end of the last episode. So I'm curious to see who else will come into play as we go through the season. But thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content.
Well, Joey, I'll give you 2 out of 3 on that front.
Oh my god.
Do I really have to kill him?
Cut.
Okay, he's an actor. I was like, did he kill people before? Like, what happened? Because this is the same outfit we saw him in at the birthday party.
Good man. They want to see that even a good man as yourself can be driven
Yeah,
so
I understand that,
far
but that's not
sometimes.
really my thing.
And that's funny how he's so hesitant to kill on screen, and we know what he does now. He's killed left, right, and center.
It's subtle. Flirtation. Tastes like someone touching you for the first time. They even made it in your color.
And the fact that he's wearing blue and gold as well, which is the Vault's color. This is very interesting. I'm glad we get to learn more about his backstory. Yeah, obviously the opening scene in the first episode was him at the birthday party with his daughter, and it seemed like he was pretending to be what I'm assuming the character from the movie. Oh, that's a guy without his head. Yep, there we go. Good, good, good. Like, does he have like asthma? Yeah, what is this thing? We saw another character use something similar before when they were struggling to breathe, so... But it looked like there was like a little yellow tube inside, like a vial of something. I feel like I've seen like that restaurant, like the donut. I feel like that's a symbol from California. Again, I'm Canadian. Don't come after me for my American geography, but I feel like I've seen that. I don't know the name of the restaurant, but I feel like I've seen photos like that. Oh, yep, there's his head. Ah, yeah.
What will you do?
Where did she get these deviled eggs? Did she steal these from the vault, I'm guessing? Yeah, I'm curious as to what's in his head that they need to... We saw him inject himself with something before he left that horrible puppy mill place. Yeah, oh. Yeah, what's she shoving up his nose?
I can fix it. Cost you 5 caps.
Okay, interesting. That's the first time we've heard them use like any kind of currency. Like, caps, like bottle caps? What? It's like, do you want to fix it or not? Like, this isn't really negotiating. Oh, we buy teeth. Well, that's just fueling my fear of the dentist.
Extra, if you do it fast.
How many teeth did he sell? Cheese and rice. Wow. This place. Oh my gosh. He's like, that cost me a tooth. They're not growing back anymore, bud. That's all you get.
Get this shit out.
It's like, I already lost a tooth today. I'm not looking to lose more. Oh god. Yeah, if we can just put that thing on, it's game over for them. Oh! He's like, I let a man die for that suit. I'm not above killing for it now either. As the toilet lid cover. We saw that before outside the shop in the previous episode as well. Why does there a theme with toilet seat covers? Oh! Oh, God. Oh, I thought this was a Johnny Cash song. Oh, God. He just needs it to close.
Lock him up! Lock him up!
You're about to get... Yeah. Oh! Saw that coming. Yep, with his bare hands. His bare metal hands. Yeah, that'll scar you for life. And that's why you don't steal. Oh my god. Squished his brains. Oh, it's the guy that used to beat the crap out of him. Good. Good. That won't be awkward at all. Get out of there, buddy.
I'm Thaddeus. And I'm honored to be in your charge.
But he doesn't know who's in the suit, obviously.
Squire. And clean this.
And now he's just as much of a jerk as the other guy was to him. Oh my gosh.
The elder cleric says, whoever gets the target.
We'll control the wasteland.
Interesting, okay. Yeah, and to see, like, LA, you know, completely overgrown. Obviously, hundreds of years have passed. Like, the water levels have come up and Oh, is that a little deer? Oh. All the animals we've seen so far have been either grown in, like, a lab or have been very, very different, like, mutated. Probably from the radiation, I'm guessing. Oh my gosh. Nothing is safe. What the frick is this thing? Oh god. Oh, well. There goes your head. You need that. Oh my god, I hope you can swim. Yep, because he's taking him under. Was that an octopus? Like, what was that thing? Bye. She's like, I did all that decapitating for nothing? Oh, right, she put a tracker up his nose. Hello, Ghoul.
Hello again.
He's like, remember when I tried to kill you before? Oh, God. like, not my deviled eggs, please. Oh god, why is it so slimy? I didn't think we'd see the vault anymore. I thought we were done, like, since Lucy left, but here we are.
Meaning those raiders could only have gotten into Vault 32 because some bonehead opened the door to the surface.
But who would do, like, that seems so random.
Aware that at every job you've been assigned to, your performance review has been lax enthusiasm?
This guy. Can't imagine that. And how there's 3 of them connected, that's interesting, that triangle.
It's a predicament, isn't it? How do you demote someone who equally dislikes every job he's ever worked?
And I mean, you could go into themes of, you know, conformity, like he's not willing to follow the rules and just... Yeah, they seem charming. I feel like his anger is growing and growing inside and is about to burst.
I don't see any apples, sir.
Climb higher.
It's just messing with him. Oh, God.
I'm not hungry anymore.
Okay. Yeah, whatever you want. You're the... Sir.
He's enjoying this too much. The power's gone to his head.
I was waylaid. A ghoul intervened.
A ghoul? Huh. Those things are scary as shit.
Oh, so there's multiple ghouls? He's not the only one?
You've made it possible to trace the whereabouts of the target.
He's like, yeah, I definitely knew that. Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely him. I think we should bring the body back.
How can you tell? He doesn't have a head.
The body, it must be worth.
And the pictures only of his face.
Oh, yeah, smart. Who do you think did this, the girl or the ghoul?
The ghoul. Definitely.
Yeah, we know him and Lucy had like a little moment.
Stop, please! My dad, he...
Oh my god, they tied an anchor to her? Oh my gosh.
Don't do shit.
And what's gonna happen to the head being underwater that long? Like, is that gonna affect whatever he injected himself with? Oh my god, that's horrible. Oh my, is it, yeah, like a shark? Like, what is this thing? Oh my gosh. He's like, yeah, just another day for fishing with human bait. Oh my god! Why is its arms like that? What is happening? Those aren't even teeth! What the frick are those things? Cheese and rice! Oh my god! And yeah, they're not fins. Those are like muscly arms. Oh, got it. Oh, it's got a leg. Oh my god, this thing is horrible. The dog bite is what does it. Oh my gosh. But no head.
Fucker!
What was in that he was so mad about? What?
Is bait in a poison river!
She's got a point there, bud.
I was a shitter, so they'd feed us, and then I'd feed our shit to the flies, mulch them up.
Oh my god, what the frick? That's so messed up.
Well, you know, people at the base, they used to beat the shit out of me all the time.
Oh, so that he just did it to other people?
Yeah, I was really popular. It's great. I just wish he lived long enough to find someone else to beat up, you know? Only seems fair.
That's so twisted. Oh my gosh.
What we mean when we say we're going to build a better world.
Thanks, Reg. That is a positive spin to put on it.
They're like having this big debate about what to do with these prisoners. Very diplomatic.
Young man Woody interrogated this morning? He left an impression on me.
That is the gentleman who showed me his butthole.
Through his butt.
The most ethical solution would be to rehabilitate the prisoners and then integrate them into our vault society.
That's gonna backfire big time. Oh my gosh. No way.
But there is nothing we can't do when we set our minds to it.
And there's that optimism that they love so much. Oh my god.
I'd like to start with a moral framework. Kant, Mill, and so on. I'd be happy to teach them introductory calculus.
Oh, that'll come in handy, for sure.
I don't know. I don't think it's our job to help these people. They're murderers.
I don't think Shakespeare's gonna help.
They have intimate knowledge of our vault security. So what do you propose we do?
I don't think you're gonna like the answer to that. Yep.
The water chip is destroyed. The vault only has enough water to keep our population alive for 2 months.
That was probably good in private. Yeah, here we go. 2 months. Oh my gosh.
Okay, meeting adjourned. I was also gonna say meeting adjourned, so...
Yeah, these two fighting for power now that they have a chance to be a leader.
They killed my husband.
Yeah, I think she wants violence too, considering she lost an eye. I feel like Norman's gonna go rogue. Yeah.
Kind or another, just not sure. I'm not sure we're tracking the right abomination.
As the radiation goes off the charts. Yeah, here it comes. You're next. You led them into a trap. Yep. You gotta lead somewhere, because you're about to be fish food. Oh my god, that's so cool, but terrifying. Cue the happy music. Yeah, girl. It can walk on land. Is this a salamander? Thaddeus. Bye. It got you big time, buddy. Just screaming at the top of his lungs. Oh, chopped. Oh, oh my god, you're going in whole. Bye, Thaddeus. Their fingers. Their fingers inside of his mouth? Are you effing... Guess he didn't taste good. What? How did he just kill him? That's what he's been eating at the bottom of the lake, is beer cans. He had fingers inside of his mouth. What the F is going on with these frickin' things, man? There's the head. Yeah, he ate it. Oh my gosh. Now these two have it. All the people on the bus. A studio tour. Oh my goodness. Oh, of course. Oh my god. Just blew his face clean off. Cheese and rice. Clearly he's not a fan of the vault.
I wanted to say how delighted we are that Barb could use her connections to get to you.
You know, I've never done an advertisement before in my life.
So now he's promoting the vault. That I feel like it's something he didn't have access to, or I don't know why he wouldn't be a part of the vaults if he's promoting it, but...
Work here, and on behalf of every decent American, I just want to say thank you.
Like, if we can get his endorsement, more people will join the vault. Is this why he hates the vault so much? But it seems like he's doing okay for himself. I don't know why he wouldn't be a part of it, but we know where he was when the bombs dropped, so maybe he didn't have a chance. And we know that's what they reference at the birthday party. Do your famous thumbs up. And we know his, explanation behind it as well. Wait, is he the guy? Is he the guy that they made the cartoon of? Because that guy had a thumbs up too, if I remember correctly. Yes, he's the blonde guy. Oh my god. They just stopped using his picture afterwards and replaced it with a cartoon. Oh my god, he's the guy! So that was my first time watching Fallout Season 1, Episode 3. Each episode continues to be great, and which is nice, especially with the shorter season. There's only 8 or 9 episodes, I believe, so it's great that each episode just continues to, it just doesn't feel like there's filler episodes or anything like that. Every episode is continuing the story, and yeah, I'm definitely getting more and more interested in the game, so let me know if you want to see me play more video games. It's not really something I do, but I'd be curious to see how the show compares to the game. We got to see more of Cowboy's, backstory, him being an actor, and that was the outfit we saw at the birthday party as well, which obviously, makes sense if he was hired to be this character at a birthday party. Vinny, sir, we are on camera. Please excuse my son. Well, he has a bath. Also, this is Vincent. And we see his wife for the first time. We had seen his daughter in the pilot episode as well, and know that she went with him to the birthday party, but to see him in these ads for the vault I thought was interesting, especially when we see him, from compared to the past to the present, how he shoots out the billboard of what we learned was, inspired by his face, basically, but they obviously replaced it with a cartoon. So I loved seeing that. That was so cool. And now every time I see that image, I'm going to think of him because clearly, he seemed to be a bigger name in the movies at the time, before the bombs were dropped, and they wanted to capitalize on that and use his image to sell the vault. And it sounds like he'd never done any advertising, stuff before. This was the first time, and he didn't really seem sure of it, but to see him come out in the vault outfit was very interesting. And even his cowboy shirt is blue and yellow, which I feel like is very intentional. Those are the vault colors as well, and I don't know why he wasn't offered a place in the vault or how that panned out. We know where he was, obviously, when, that first day one, when the bombs dropped, but what does that mean? Why wasn't he given access to a vault? I'm going to assume he was somewhat wealthy. If he was, a movie star, why couldn't he afford access into it? Or especially if you knew about it, it's not like it was a big secret, if they're actively promoting it. So yeah, I'm definitely curious to see more of that story, but he definitely hates the vault. He is not treating Lucy, well, obviously, and is torturing her with this water, and even citing studies where they've said that torture isn't effective, and he's still continuing to do it. He's like, oh, it's not torture, you're bait, basically. And yeah, it was great to learn more about his character's backstory because we didn't have a ton of him in the first episode, obviously more in the second, but now getting to unravel those layers as we've entered the third episode. This head was obviously, the prized token that everybody was after. Lucy loses it. Ghoul tries to get it. That doesn't work out. And then we see Maximus and Thaddeus, end up with it at the end of the episode, which I think is interesting. I don't know where they're gonna take it, or if they know it's important and they know it's valuable, but they don't really know why. No one seems to know why. And we know Lucy had a tracker in it, but also with it being in the water that long and being in that thing's insides, I don't know what effect that's going to have on the tracker, and maybe her watch will realize that this thing is back on land and start, beeping again, and she can track it, because I know the ghoul wants to go after it as well, but obviously she's, currently kind of being held captive by the ghoul, so can't really do much, and he's just, taunting her by drinking water in front of her and not offering her any. I thought this episode was going to be Lucy meeting Moldaver, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Obviously, we have this whole other, she's struggling to get there, so maybe that'll be the next episode. Please no spoilers, but considering how we ended episode 2, I thought this episode would be her meeting her, but obviously they said it was 20 miles away, so that's a pretty big distance to travel, and especially this wasteland is what they seem to be referring to as just, this place in general. We did have Philly, the town, but the wasteland seems to be just generally the outside world, because obviously there's still, radioactive water and lots of things running around that could kill you. We got to see the people back in Vault 33, which I didn't think we would. I thought that, was kind of done because Lucy was our big connection to that, and she's obviously left. But, we get to see Norman and kind of his thoughts and his process, because obviously he still has some anger, because why wouldn't you? I feel like that's a very normal reaction, and they're trying to rehabilitate the prisoners, or that's their plan, offering them calculus and Shakespeare, and Norman's like, why, I know we can't let them go, but why are we, keeping them around for years? And even if you could rehabilitate them, I think it would still be very awkward. I don't know, but from what we know about the vaults, they're very democratic and they're very diplomatic, and they have this big meeting, and it's not just, even though there is these overseers who I'm assuming have final say on what happens, but everybody gets a chance to speak. They have this meeting, and I feel like Norman is gonna go rogue because he is angry and keeps getting demoted because he's not really trying at any job he has because he doesn't really like it. And if he's the son of the overseer, I feel like they would have had to give him something to do, obviously. I feel like everybody has a big job in these places because there's they need to keep this thing running. So, him lacking enthusiasm, I think, is just a very, if you've ever got a performance review or had like a corporate job, I feel like that's, maybe a discussion you've heard or maybe feedback you've had. And I feel like it plays a lot into the theme of, conformity and, like, well, get in line, like everybody else is doing their part. Why aren't you? And, it's not like he excelled at one thing. Everything he does, he's not interested in. And, maybe his interests lie elsewhere. And maybe that's more violent. I think that probably fits the show, these violent tendencies, but doesn't fit the vault. I think, they're very much like peace and let's talk things through and let's find, an amicable solution. I don't know that that's going to be Norman's path, but I'm curious to see where that goes. I like that we're getting to see Lucy be a little bit more of a survivor. She's camping out by herself. She's making these fires, which we did see before as well when she was attacked by that giant bug, but she's, seems like she's getting more comfortable by herself and, still dead fast on this mission to get her dad. And of course, when she runs into the ghoul, it means nothing but trouble. He also tried to kill her in the previous episode and obviously remembers him. And now she's, stuck being his prisoner, unfortunately. So I don't know how that's going to go. I felt like she was, our main character. So I'm hoping she can get away or they can work together somehow. But yeah, the ghoul definitely seems to be hating anybody from the vault, anything associated with it, which I think is interesting given we now know his history with the vault. Maximus, is attacked and gets this new squire Thaddeus, who of course used to be one of the people that beat him up, and it seems like they're weirdly becoming friends now, which I think is interesting. And the fact that Maximus saved Thaddeus, I think, is interesting because we know Maximus killed that other guy when he tried to take the suit, killed the first knight that was in the suit so that Maximus could have it because he desperately wanted it. So I'm very curious to see where the lines of this friendship are going to go. We know the squires, Thaddeus is desperately trying to get the approval of the knights and wants to be a knight. So is, running around doing everything, looking for apples in a tree that clearly is dead and doesn't have any apples, but is just so keen and so eager to oh, whatever you want, I'll do it, and just putting the time in because that's what he's been told to do. And we learn a little bit about Thaddeus's backstory as well, but Maximus saved him from this giant, horrible sea creature salamander thing. I don't even know what you can call it. And he could have easily let him die. That guy was 90% in that thing's mouth. It would have been, take 2 steps back and the guy would have been, fish food, literally. And we've seen him do that before. He let the first knight die from the bear attack and, he squished that guy's brain when he tried to take his suit. So I feel like this is an interesting step for his character, especially since, Thaddeus used to beat the crap out of him. But to hear Thaddeus say that he only did that to save himself, showed a little bit of vulnerability. Obviously, he didn't know it was Maximus in the suit, which I think is an interesting comparison, and I'm sure he'll find out eventually. But the fact that, he's kind of confiding in this guy and has no idea who this person is, that salamander creature was freaking terrifying. It had, I can only assume it's a salamander. I thought it was a whale or a shark or something at first just because the size of it. But when it came out of the water with human arms and human hands, there was no fish fins. There was nothing. It was a human, arms and hands and fingers, so creepy. And every time we see an animal, I think it's interesting because obviously we know the water was very radioactive. As soon as they went in there, their little meter was going off, and we've seen the bears and the giant bugs, but to see this fish was just horrible. And using Lucy as bait to try and get the head back, and the fact that when the fingers touched Thaddeus, the fact that it fingered his mouth, come on, like, if we talk about that for a minute, like, that's so gross, and but also like really weird. When we first saw it, I could see that like it didn't look like teeth, but I couldn't see close up enough to see what it was. It's just like these dangling things from its mouth. And then when it's, you know, chomping down on Thaddeus, we can see that they're in fact fingers with like fingernails even, it looked like. It was so weird. And yeah, as soon as it touched Thaddeus, basically, it just threw up everything that it had, including the head and including like all these beer cans, and I'm assuming what it's been eating at the bottom of that lake, and just so gross, and just like a really like weird but cool creative creature, I think, because I wouldn't think to put human arms on a salamander. That's freaking weird. And, you know, it just jumps right up on land. Like, it's not confined to the water, obviously, and just starts, you know, terrorizing people that way. So, super creepy, and I think just a really interesting creature. And, you know, not only are they battling each other and trying to survive, but they got to battle these creatures as well. And they also are battling the elements. It's California, it's LA. I mean, they're not going to be worried about the cold, at least. They're going to be worried more about the heat, as we saw, you know, Lucy needs some water desperately. And maybe she'll get, you know, heat exhaustion. I don't know. But, you know, they've got the elements, the people, the animals. Like, it's a literal wasteland that they're trying to survive in. We also heard Lucy mention the golden rule, and Ghoul saying that there's a golden rule for the wasteland as well, which is interesting. And, you know, even to see the Ghoul cowboy, you know, hesitate with unaliving someone on screen, which is fake, obviously. And, you know, he's worried about his character behaving that way, and to see him just completely, you know, flip that perspective when everything happens, and now he's totally fine with killing people, doesn't even think about it. I'm sure it's just another day for him, but it's interesting to see how much he's changed, and, you know, the progression that his character has taken from before till now. And I know it's been 200 years also, but still, the fact that, you know, once there was a version of him that was not interested in violence and was like this family man who's, you know, like, oh, my wife wants me to do these ads, I guess I'll do these ads. Like, she had this connection, and, you know, just wants to hang out with his kid, to go from that to where he's literally hauling somebody else's kid around the desert and like depriving them of water. I know a lot of things happened in that time, and they greatly affected him, and that's, you know, kind of how we've ended up with the Ghoul. Overall, I thought it was a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. I'm very excited to continue watching the series and see where it's gonna go. I like Lucy's character. You know, we had Lucy kind of thinking of Maximus as this, and Maximus thinking about Lucy as well in this episode, so it's curious to see that they're still, you know, in each other's thoughts. But thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. And that's funny how he's so hesitant to kill on screen, and we know what he does now. Oh, we buy teeth. Well, that's just fueling my fear of the dentist. Oh, right, she put a tracker up his nose. She's like, not my deviled eggs, please. Oh my god, squished his brains. Oh my god, he's the guy! You gotta lead somewhere, 'cause you're about to be fish food.